Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Well, Sunday evening or afternoon, I did a recording on I Am, the Aries energy, the first house. And a prime example of Aries acting out in an individual is that which the news caught um, on Will Smith and Chris Rock. Now, I don't want to really put the focus on them, but just understanding that out of nowhere behavior, violence is an Aries primal energy, as I spoke of, that is not been sacrificed. And when I say sacrifice, it hasn't been given over to God. I'm not passing any judgment. It did throw me because, I respect this man and his wife was beautiful. There was nothing wrong with the joke, in my opinion, which is what we all have is opinions, but there's something that came up that can show everyone behaviors that are toxic within us that need to be sacrificed, as in Abraham. When you go to Abraham and you look around Genesis 22 and 13, you're going to find that God asked Abraham to sacrifice his son. Now, if you go deeper or just honestly let yourself imagine what God was saying, or if God was saying something more, was God asking him to sacrifice something that he loved? Was God, of course, was God asking him to sacrifice something that was valuable to him? Was he asking him to sacrifice something that was going to cause him pain and grief? Was he asking Abraham to sacrifice something so that Abraham could possibly become more of the I am presence that I spoke of in the last recording? The thing about this is not just looking at the fact that it was his son that he sacrificed, but was the sacrifice going to make him a better person? Because Jesus even talks about that in the Beatitudes, that for your mourning you will receive blessings. Grieving gives you another level of understanding. Anytime you go through something, you have to either sacrifice the pain, the bitterness, the anger, the jealousy, or you're going to stay the same. If you don't sacrifice it, there's no change in you. But if you sacrifice something that you love, your money, your home, if you have to sacrifice your children, it can bring a change. Now, some people have began to not like God when they had situations that they didn't identify with as a sacrifice. But here, when we go back to I am, what we find is that because Abraham followed God and he did the prompting of the sacrifice, there was a ram in the bush. Now, the ram is indicative of the primal energy in man or in woman. That means the animal nature. So there was a showing of the sacrifice of the animal nature that Abraham gave up while he was walking up that mountain with his son. Maybe we could look and see that his son wasn't really the challenge. It was the test that Abraham had to go through. And through that test, what Abraham received was a release of primal energy, because there was a change in Abraham at that time. So I wanted to come on and give that information, because the primal energy in man has to be sacrificed in order for us to reach an I am state. I may affirm I am love, happiness, and peace, but until I have to sacrifice love, I will not become love. And a lot of people will argue with me on that, but I tell you, if you don't sacrifice the trigger point and keep your peace even when someone makes you angry, or they help you to see the anger in you, that peace is not going to become a part of your life because you haven't learned the sacrifice. The sacrifice is not reacting and responding. So, any questions, anyone that needs sessions for personal development, email me at ifwbuilders@gmail.com. We can discuss times. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Blessings.